Connecticut feeling the impact from tropical storm Henri. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Fox 61 bringing you more live coverage in your hometowns, keeping you informed on air, online, on the path and the impact of tropical storm Henri. Our teams were all across Connecticut, from the shoreline and the southeast corner of Connecticut, New Haven County and Middlesex County, up into the greater Hartford area and across eastern Connecticut and many more places. Our team bringing you up-to-date information about how this storm impacted your communities.
And right now, taking a live look at the radar, you can see where Henri is right now. The majority of the storm pushing its way out of Connecticut, thankfully. We continue our team coverage now with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Rachel, there's still some remnants of Henri in our state as of now, right?
Yeah, Henri Part 2 also coming through as we head through the day tomorrow with lingering scattered showers and even the chance for some thunderstorms. And we really dodged a bullet with Henri, guys. A track shift about 40 miles to the east, making landfall in westerly Rhode Island, put the worst of the winds in Rhode Island, where there were about 80,000 power outages and still about 75,000 power outages. If that storm was a bit farther west, that would have put more of those outages in Connecticut's path. Another thing, the storm is stalling, but a little bit farther west, which is putting some of the worst flooding rain in a bullseye over New Jersey and parts of eastern Pennsylvania, and including some areas that are south of Albany. So here's the latest on Henri, now downgraded to a tropical depression. We have a few scattered showers that are out there, no big deal. But as we move through time, we're actually going to see Henri come back to pay us a visit as it kind of does this weird loop-de-loop before passing back out to the northeast. And for that reason, that flood watch that was previously in effect all day today will continue until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Here's a look at the future radar heading into tomorrow morning. This is 8 a.m. Notice we're seeing a few showers, locally heavy downpours out there into western Connecticut. And this will continue hit or miss off and on through the day. And there is a low risk for a severe thunderstorm as well. So we'll be keeping a close eye on the radar. 6:30 at night, and we are still saying the name Henri. Heading towards this time tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, we'll start to see things spin out, and then our attention will shift over to heat and humidity. We'll take a look at rainfall totals, peak wind gusts, do a full recap and damage reports coming up, guys.
Rachel, thank you. Tonight, people all across the state are surveying the aftermath of Tropical Storm Henri.
Not only did it knock out power to tens of thousands of people, it also caused significant damage in some parts of Connecticut.
Fox 61's Rachel Piscatelli in Lisbon tonight with more.
Fox 61 Storm Tracker out and about today in Lisbon, where we surveyed the damage, and we came across this tree on the home on Bundy Hill Road. From Canterbury to Lisbon along Route 12, trees and wires down, causing road closures on Buttsbridge Road and along Route 12 where Mell Road and Canahan Road meet. Near 95% of the town of Lisbon without power, except at this house, where around 11 a.m. Sunday morning, Felix Prokop and his family were watching TV when they heard a loud crack.
It sounded like a lightning hit. It just had that bang sound. We had lightning trouble here years and years ago. And I walked out, and there's the tree in front of the door.
A portion of the tree on top of his roof, with the tree snapped in half. Another piece draped over on the power lines.
Some damage, but luckily nobody got hurt. That's one good thing.
His granddaughter, also home at the time, she slept through the whole thing.
Initial thought was not expecting that, honestly. I woke up and I just saw like something outside my window. I was like, oh, so there was a hurricane, so it did come. And I look out the window and like there's like 2 smashed windows.
Felix says he is unsure the extent of the damage to the rest of his home.
That tree actually broke in half. Shows you how sturdy the building codes are.
Okay.
It's just holes in the thing. I mean, the roof's not collapsed or anything like that.
The homeowner tells me that they will have to put a tarp on the roof as there is a couple of holes, so they have to ensure that there is no leakage. In Lisbon, I'm Rachel Piscatelli, Fox 61 News.
Rachel, thanks. Continuing our tour across Connecticut tonight, residents of Millbridge Hollow Condominium off Prospect Street in Manchester were surprised when a creek that normally runs silent today was raging with water.
Fox 61's Dominic Ferrante brings us the latest.
Alongside the tropical storm today came buckets of rain, a combination that often causes flooding. And well, today we saw just that. Residents of Mill Bridge Hollow condominiums were faced with raging waters as a creek turned into a river.
Now people are moving, and people who are susceptible are leaving.
We caught up with one stunned family who had hopes to move into their new home today.
It's a little bit unnerving. You know, we just started doing our work last night, so we got cabinets in, new flooring down.
And as water entered the condos, residents grabbed all they could and left to seek shelter.
They said it was best that I go.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know. My car.
A question many were wondering: where to seek shelter? As residents worked quickly to evacuate, many took shelter in local hotels, quickly filling them, leaving those flooded with nowhere to go. And even though the rain has stopped, the river is still flowing pretty hard. And for condo owners, it's just a matter of figuring out how much damage has been done. In Manchester, Dominic Ferrante, Fox 61.
All right, Dominic, thank you very much. And tonight, residents of Old Saybrook are counting themselves lucky spared the potentially devastating impact of Henri, the storm actually becoming somewhat of a tourist attraction there.
Fox 61's Matt Karen spent the day on the shoreline and brings us inside the town's preparedness efforts.
Saybrook Point, these nautical flags warned maritime vessels of the hurricane that fizzled.
We were getting emails from like Eversource and stuff saying, oh, be ready to be out of power for like 10 days.
21 days, actually.
We dodged a very significant storm.
Early in the day, all was calm here at the mouth of the Connecticut River. It is relatively calm. It's a gentle breeze until it wasn't.
My cell phone has gone flying. My hat flew off my head.
Midday wind whipped the willows.
This is probably like the worst I've seen it in August in my time here.
And sloshed the sea.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Storm shutters deployed, but power outages kept to a minimum.
Given what we thought was going to happen yesterday, today is a pretty good day.
The high school converted to an emergency shelter. 29 people and some furry friends took note of the evacuation order, including Larry Drobny.
It was strongly recommended, so I came last night.
Learning lessons from the past, Apple Rehab Saybrook evacuated their 63 nursing home residents.
And they were very, very proactive and transported their patients to other Apple Rehab facilities yesterday.
On Main Street, heavy tree equipment staged just in case.
So if we turned out that we over-prepared, we're fine with that. We just never want to under-prepare.
Henri didn't even stop the Holdmeyer family from holding a wedding. They came from Missouri and marveled at the sea.
We have nothing. We've got our lakes and stuff, and river, but nothing like the ocean.
For this Middlesex County shoreline town, Henri, more of a nuisance than a threat.
I was expecting a lot worse.
And to give you an idea of just how much worse this could have been, Eversource was predicting up to 70% of customers could lose power. It ended up only being about 2.5%. In fact, they ended up diverting some of those crews from Connecticut to help our neighbors in Rhode Island. Reporting in Old Saybrook, Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
Matt, thank you. From Old Saybrook to Newington now, where folks along Florence Street without power for much of the afternoon when this tree came down, taking power lines with it. We spoke to the homeowner who said he heard the whole thing right in the middle of the storm.
We were actually sitting in the front room and a big bang. It happened so fast. Clearly power, TV went out, and looked outside and there's a tree on the ground, and it's not where I left it. Eversource gets out here, they connect all the lines. We're expecting to be out of power for at least a night, and then Fox 61 shows up and the lights come back on.
Look at that. He tells us he's thankful for the folks at Eversource for restoring his power.
Well, earlier this evening, Governor Lamont gave an update saying the majority of the state was spared from widespread power outages. If you're still waiting for your power to be restored right now, the governor does have a message for you.
I've had strong assurances from Joe Nolan and Eversource that the overwhelming majority, 90+%, will have their power restored by this time tomorrow. If there's some that take a little bit longer because they're at the end of a long road or a big tree has come down, it takes a bit, they're going to get everything done over the next 2 to 3 days.
Well, the governor and our meteorologist also said the storm gave the state a bit of a break by swerving towards Rhode Island.
Let's look at some of the numbers right now. Latest power outages from Eversource as of tonight. Right now, more than 16,000 customers statewide are without power. Canterbury has the most, with just over 1,400 customers, followed by Woodstock with just over 1,200, and then Mansfield has just over 1,000.